Hello everybody, Z3KO Trinity here. Today I'm going to be doing a book review on Stephen King's The Gunslinger, Dark Tower book number 1. I went to theaters and saw the movie The Gunslinger before I read the books. I was wanting to read the books first, but it didn't work out so well. But what I did saw in theaters was absolutely incredible. Very unique story. The ending was a little meh, but all in all, it was a really good story. So I was really excited to read the books. I just now finished the Dark Tower, the first one, Gunslinger. And the one thing I noticed about it is it's completely different than this movie. The events that took place and even the characters' background stories themselves were all completely different compared to what I have read in this book. Especially Jake. His character is different a lot. But do a little quick synopsis. It begins the book with the gunslinger in the desert trying to find the man in black. He's been following him from town to town. He stopped in a town called Tull, which of course he met a lot of strange people, met a woman, can't remember her name right off the bat now, but he was like making love to her every night, and just it got to the point where everyone kind of got possessed of the powers of the man in black, and he basically killed every last one of the people in that town. So now everyone is dead in that town, and the gunslinger is going off to the adventure in the desert to try to locate the man in black into the mountain-like area. So, and as he's walking, he's thinking about different stuff, and he sees this cabin, this shack, this whatever you want to call it, in the middle of the desert, and he sees a figure, which he thinks is the man in black. So he draws his guns, getting ready to pop a cap in the ass, and it turns out to be Jake. Now, one of the major differences is apparently Jake, he's losing his memory. He's losing memory of everything of when he was alive. Like, apparently Jake is from our world that we live in, and the gunslinger is part of a whole different universe. And Jake, what had happened was he actually got killed. He was ran over or hit by a vehicle, same thing, and the man in black showed up and he's like, "I'm a priest, everybody just calm down." And I guess what he did was take the boy's soul and put it into their universe. But in the movie, the boy had discovered portals, or a portal, that led to their universe. So that was a major difference. The boy's dead and forgetting his stuff in the book. And then in the movie, he just found a portal and was having nightmares. In the book, he doesn't mention anything about having any dreams whatsoever. So I personally don't know where that's going to take place. Now, don't give me too much hate. This is just the first book, guys. It might mention a lot more in the next. It might even mention it 5 books down the line. 5 books down the line. Wait until the 6th book, and they're like, "Oh, by the way." But the gunslinger, after he meets the boy, they both carry on, and then they finally end up meeting the man in black, but yet he gets away again, the pesky little devil, and they travel even farther. And the whole book is just traveling and traveling, 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 telling stories. Oh, another thing different about Jake is apparently his parents were still together, and they were pretty rich, I want to say, because they were able to hire these people to watch Jake while they're too busy doing their work and stuff, so they never really paid attention to him whatsoever. But in the movie, his mom was divorced with his dad. He has a stepdad who was kind of a dick, and they were like barely making, you could tell that they're like very low income or just medium income family, barely making it. So that's another difference. My favorite part of the book was when it was talking about how the gunslinger got his guns. I thought that was the best part of the entire book. It was really cool how he had to challenge the teacher, and when he fought against the teacher, he was able to use his bird companion, or his like falcon companion, which was really depressing. I hate what they did to the bird, but it's a battle, so I mean it's to be expected, but it was cool how he beat the teacher. I know it's a little bit of a spoiler, but it's like mid-book, so it's nothing major. Don't go crying yet. But yeah, he beats the teacher, and he gets his father's gun that he inherits. And I think that's so cool. I thought that was a really cool part in the book. It did take me quite a while to read this book. I can't do it. Mostly because it was a little boring. I mean, it was just reading it. I mean, I was waiting for the action. I was waiting for, the actual gunslinging. Motherfucker! But there was very little of it in the book. So, hopefully it picks up in the next book. What else can I say about this book? The characters, they were pretty cool. Roland, he was a little less cool than what I was expecting, but this is just the first book, so I'd say once I keep reading, his character will probably get better, and I think I'll love his character a lot more. Jake, he kind of just pulled a MIA at the end of the book. I might have missed it while I was reading it. I don't really know what had happened to him, but I don't want to spoil it anyway, in case if you're watching this and you have not read this book. But, yeah, that's really all that I have to say about this book. It was a unique idea. I think it's badass because this book has a foreword and introduction, and I thought it was so cool how Stephen King, one of his main inspirations to writing this was Lord of the Rings. And J.R.R. Tolkien was a major influence on him. I think that's really cool because I really do like the Lord of the Rings books, and I like the Lord of the Rings movies and stuff like that. So that's really, really cool that Stephen King wanted to do his own epic tale of, his own, And he chose a Western style, kind of fantasy-like. It's not really too much horror, per se, but yeah, it might get a lot more edgier once I read on. All in all, I did like it. I didn't love it. If I had to give it the 5-star rating, which I do on my little note card, I actually gave it a 3 out of 5. The reason why I gave it 3, I thought it was pretty generous of me giving it a 3, is because I was thinking this is just book 1. It's bound to get better as the story progresses. So that's why I gave it a 3. And yeah, it was okay. I liked it a little bit. The Man in Black was a little disappointing, really. When he actually found the Man in Black, it seemed as though, I know they're not friends because Man in Black is supposedly the villain of the story. But I feel like they had sort of a friendship going on. Like the gunslinger really didn't want to kill him, didn't have the need to kill him like he did in the movie. Like in the whole entire movie, he just desperately wanted to kill this Man in Black. So I didn't get that from this book. But yeah, that's my review of the book. I didn't want to give away too much. Really, there's nothing to really give away. Like I said, majority of this is just traveling. Like, beginning in the desert, he goes back into memory of when he was in the last town, Tull, had all that began. Then it goes back to him in the desert. He walks and walks until he passes out. Wakes up, sees the boy, or the boy had rescued him. And then they continue on from there. So... but if you're new to Stephen King and you're wanting to start this book and not quite sure if you would like it, I still say you should give it a chance because Stephen King, I have to give it to him. He's an excellent writer. he definitely has a way with words. It's really artistic, and I love his writing style. I wasn't too much of a fan of this. Oh, and if you don't know what the Dark Tower is, apparently there's like multiple universes and even more universes than that, but they're all connected to one single entity. Think of it as like a spider web, and the Black Widow in the middle is the Dark Tower. So that's kind of cool. But so far in the movie, the Man in Black wanted to destroy this tower. But it did not mention anything about what he wanted to do to this tower whatsoever in the book. And all the Gunslinger wanted is basically to get to this tower. But in order to get to that tower, he needed to get a hold of the Man in Black. So that's basically the gist of book 1. So I hope you guys enjoyed the review. If not, go screw yourselves. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I'm not the greatest at book reviews. If you want better book reviews, I have seen a lot more professionally done book reviews. But all in all, I'm excited to read the next book. I want to continue the story, see where it takes me. But by far, I'm not going to do book versus movie because this is completely different from the movie. And I can't really say anything about it because I have not read the rest of the books. But until I read the next one, I will do another review, kind of add the two stories together, and that way you can get my full opinion. Make sense? Okay. But thank you guys so much for watching the video. Leave me a thumbs up if you did like this review. Let me know how you feel. If you really didn't like the review, leave a thumbs down, and I won't cry about it yet. But thank you guys so much. I enjoy talking to you guys about every little detail, so feel free to comment. Please, bring on the comments. And I'll see you in the next video. Dooskies. Bye.